Alright, welcome everyone. This is the first ever update video for the MidiControl plugin, and I'm here with some huge changes. This is not scripted, you probably can tell. First of all, as you can see, it's now working in Blender 4.3. I'm not really sure how many people, probably not that many, tried it out in Blender 4.3, but it didn't really work. But it's working now. And besides that boring update, I have added two new features which might be of some use for certain things. So first of all, let's just connect our MIDI controller and do the same stuff that we normally do. And as you can see, there's something new. It's called resolution control. And what it does, it allows you to control the granularity, I cannot pronounce it, in steps taken when controlling a property of an object. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, you can bind two inputs of your controller, or one, depends on what you want to use, to control the fine and coarse of the resolution. So one is just in the current steps it's normally done. So if you set the min and max value, it just goes between that, and 2 just doubles that, and 3 triples that, etc. And a half just halves that. So I can show you. So for example, let's map the coarse control to this one, set the fine control to this one, and as you can see, the fine control can go between 0 and 1, and the coarse control can go between I should say 0.0 and 0.1, and this one can go between 1 and 127. Enough resolution, I believe, to play with. So let's set it to 1, and then continue and start mapping a controller to a property. So I have here a cube, which I will be using for something later. You can see it already on screen. So for now, I want to map it to like the X position, so I just do this, and then as you can see, nothing happens because I have to move my controller first. And as you can see, just the quality of life changed. I made it red so it shows up and is more prominent in screen that something has changed. And as you can see, it's now asking for you to map a property. And since I moved location last, you can see that it's detected it as the last changed property. And this has not changed. You can map the control, set the min and max values, and hit apply. So now it's mapped to my controller, number 1, 0. So as you can see, it moves between 0 and 1 because that's the max that we configured here. So if we go to the mapping, you can see 0 and 1, so that's good. But say I wanted to move like 2 times as much, so then I put the resolutions to 2. So if I now move it, it's now going between 0 and 2. And if I say I just wanted to do half of the movement that I specified, set it to 0.5, and then it just goes between 0 and 0.5. So that's how we can use the resolution control to actually tweak your control of an object directly without changing the min-max values. Alright, so that's cool and all, but there's something a lot more interesting, at least from my perspective, and it has to do with geometry nodes. I'm not used to using geometry nodes. I just pull this from one of those tutorials, not this one, that's mine, this one, and I will show you how you can use it. Because previously, if you changed the value or a property in geometry nodes, if you wanted to do so, it did detect it, but you could not really map it. It didn't do anything. So for example, now I'm mapping control number 23, and if I moved, for example, the values, and as you can see, it's doing something. It's not even detecting it. It's just saying location 0. I will zoom in so you can see nothing is happening. So, alright, so we want to map this value. How do you do it? Well, now you can right-click on the property or the value field that you want to use and hit copy fill data path. And if you do that, you can see it's detecting it that you want to map a data path, and you can click on map data path, and then you can set the min-max value. So for example, I wanted to move between 0 and 127. So if I hit apply, now it's mapped, and if I move it, you can see that it works on geometry nodes. But as you can see, this is a lot of stuff. So if I say I want like less, I have set the max to 127, so if I just want 10 or so, I just set the resolution really low, and it should just be really granular right now. So that's how you can use the plugin now with hard data paths. And of course, this works without selecting objects. So this is just global, changing a specific data path. It's also showing up as red because this is just how I differentiate between properties that are bound to a selected object or that are applied to selected objects and global properties that you change without selecting anything. And that's basically it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy it.